What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? This DP, and this is where the magic starts at, y'all. As y'all know, this is the Kingpin Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Derek Pettis, but y'all call me DP. That's why I got that name from when I played football. It was just an easy way to refer to me. But this is the Kingpin Chronicles, and on Sundays from here through October, I'm gonna be offering these free trainings where I'm gonna be giving right and my way of giving right because in my opinion, the best gift that you can receive is education or something that can make you better. So I'm gonna be spending my weekends for the next couple of months, right? Giving back some of the information that I've gained over the years that has helped make me into not only a better father, friend, person, whatever it may be, but it made me a lot more financially responsible, right? And it allowed me, to make some extra money to help take care of my family, my kids, and just be there for the people when they need me and I can help. So 30 days to profitable trading challenge is all about you, right? Obtaining the knowledge that will allow you to enter the Forex market, right? The Forex market is the foreign exchange, right? Foreign exchange is where people trade currencies, metals, all kind of different commodities, and they make profit and they lose. It go both ways. So we don't just give everybody a couple minutes before I actually get started with my presentation. We starting at 7, so we got about 3 minutes. So y'all just get comfortable and just take some notes, right? Because what's going to happen is a lot of people get overwhelmed with the technical aspects of trading, right? And that's why I kind of make it a little bit easier by separating the kind of, in my words, would be the technical aspect of it from the psychological aspect of it. Because in my opinion, psychological part is a lot more important. So we're gonna get into this at 7. I start my presentation, but this ain't gonna be for everybody. I'm not gonna be somebody that everybody want to work with, and some people ain't gonna be people that I want to work with, right? And that's natural, right? I don't have a problem with that, but in my opinion, I'm giving back the best way that someone could give back, right? And when we get started, I'm gonna introduce myself and give a little backstory on me and the purpose of this whole platform. Not only the platform, but also some of the programs and the information that I'm gonna be giving away. This time that I'm taking away from being with my family, my friends, just doing some of the stuff that I like to do with my personal time. But I just feel like at some point, somebody got to do something to reach back and not only educate people, but give people a way to really, really, really make some money and get their things on the road. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share. Uh, get everything right. All right, that's 7. I'm gonna start in 1 minute, but we can go ahead and just put that. Okay. We're gonna get started. It's 7 o'clock. So we're gonna run this. I'm gonna start this thing off with an introduction of myself, just kind of explain how I got to where that I'm teaching people how to trade gold, right? Back history on just me personally, I'm from the hood. I grew up in the projects in South St. Petersburg, Florida. My childhood was typical for a young black male. It was just rough, but I was interested and enjoyed actually going to school, and I was an athletic kid, so sports and going to school kind of kept me from really getting in any trouble as a youth. But I succumbed to some of the things that's very common in our neighborhoods amongst our youth, right? And I fell into a life of crime and all of this during a lot of my younger years, but I always had the wherewithal to know that that wasn't the way to live. So I uh, started to move myself away from that and just take some steps in bettering myself and put myself in a better position to where that I wouldn't have to do those things. And I got on the path to entrepreneurship. I had a mechanic shop, a machine shop for about 10 years. I did hard labor for a long time. I made good money doing that, selling parts and all kind of stuff like that. But I really wasn't interested in doing no hard labor. So I started being interested in this new thing that was popping called crypto, right? And when I got into crypto, I was dealing with all these programs, I guess we could say, where we was putting our money in the crypto programs, and we was able to make money off of doing some of that stuff. And um, we started dealing with programs that was dealing with trading gold in the foreign exchange. So that opened my eyes to a whole nother way of making money because I was able to see some people making some real good money in real short amounts of time. And it seemed to be a real easy way to make money. You just had to spend some time uh, learning what to do. So I I started out with trading options and playing around with crypto and some stocks and stuff. And I made a little bit of money, but I made money, lost money, and I would. It was a roller coaster ride with that, and I basically was just trying something. So I had an opportunity to go to this webinar, like a webinar, or they called it a boot camp, right? Where we flew to Dubai, and we was able to learn some real basic stuff from some people that was trading themselves and actually making a little bit of money in the market. So this guy got on the stage and in front of us, and in like 30 minutes, he made like $1 million on his phone right in front of us, and I was like, "Whoa, man, this definitely is something that I'm interested in because if you can make money, $1 million in a couple minutes, you know, that's the type of money that I want to make. That's the type of income that I need, right, to sustain the type of lifestyle that I plan on living and that I, want my kids to grow up enjoying being in the, nice neighborhood, and able to go to good schools and just have the things that we, you know, didn't have growing up. And this was something that would replace the fast money that I had been used to for so long in the streets, it kind of brought me back to that because I had, as I said, spent about 10 or 11 years just doing hard labor in a machine shop, and uh, just that was beating up on my body and none all of that. And when I found this, it was something that I was able to go from zero to 100 like that. I flew to Dubai. I took this it was a 5-day boot camp, and then they offered a program that I could, study and learn on my own how to build my own strategy. So came back and I practiced, I studied, and over the past 3 years, trading has become probably the most, probably where I make the better part of my money throughout the year. I do a lot of other different things, but trading is the one thing where I can come in the market and I can make a certain set amount of money daily, right? And leave the market, and then I don't have to worry about working hard. I don't worry about having to, nobody looking over my shoulders. I'm in control of everything, every trade, every whatever. But that's how we get to here, and me creating this program to where that I could make it a little basic, because what I noticed was a lot of the programs that I had taken they was real long, right? And it took a lot of learning and remembering a bunch of stuff that, in my opinion, is valuable information, but you don't need to know a lot of the stuff that a lot of people waste time in teaching when it come down to trading. Basically, what you need to know, in my opinion, in the market is the sentiment of the market, uh, how to enter the market, how to exit the market, when to enter the market, when to exit the market, and how to properly manage your risk so that you can be profitable in the markets, right? And on the screen, as you can see, there's some of the things that we're gonna go over this evening. We're gonna give a brief overview of the forex market. We're gonna go over the importance of gold in the global economy, uh, understanding XAU USD as a currency pair. When I say a currency pair and XAU, XAU is what we call the ticker for gold, and USD is what we call the ticker for the US dollar, right? And then when you have them paired like this as a currency pair, you have it's saying gold in relation to the US dollar. So uh, either you buying US gold with the US dollar, or you selling and trading the dollar for gold, right? So that's some of the basic stuff, and then we're gonna go over the benefits and the risks of trading gold. And we're gonna do this in a way to where that I'm slow walking y'all through this, because at the same time as me telling y'all that it's a real basic thing to do, it's a difficult thing to do at the same time, because um, it's a lot of psychology involved with trading, and that probably is the number one thing that is going to determine whether or not you make money in the markets, right? So we're gonna get into some of this basic stuff, and I'm gonna share some of these they little short videos that I created. After each of the videos, I'm gonna give an explanation and break it down and kind of give it in a way that we can understand it and really apply it, because a lot of people get just lost in the sauce. So let me add that to the stage and pull myself off. I'm gonna be quiet.
Overview of the Forex markets. The foreign exchange market, often abbreviated as Forex or FX, is a global decentralized or over-the-counter (OTC) market for the trading of currencies. It is the largest and most liquid financial market in the world, with a daily trading volume exceeding trillions of dollars. Forex trading involves the exchange of one currency for another at an agreed-upon price. Participants in the Forex market include central banks, commercial banks, hedge funds, investment management firms, retail traders, and multinational corporations. These participants engage in Forex trading for various reasons, including speculation, hedging, investment, and conducting international trade and business transactions. The Forex market operates 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, spanning major financial centers across different time zones, including London, New York, Tokyo, Sydney, and others. This continuous trading cycle allows traders to respond quickly to market developments and news events, contributing to the market's high liquidity and volatility. Currencies are traded in pairs, with the value of one currency relative to another. The most commonly traded currency pairs are known as the major pairs, which include the euro, euro/USD, US dollar, USD/JPY, British pound, GBP/USD, Swiss franc, USD/CHF, Australian dollar, AUD/USD, Canadian dollar, USD/CAD, and New Zealand dollar, NZD/USD. In addition to major currency pairs, traders also trade minor pairs, cross-currency pairs that don't involve the US dollar, and exotic pairs, currencies from emerging or smaller economies paired with major currencies. Forex trading involves speculation on currency exchange rate movements. Traders analyze various factors, including economic indicators, central bank policies, geopolitical events, and market sentiment, to anticipate currency price movements and make trading decisions. Several trading strategies are employed in the Forex market, including technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and sentiment analysis. Technical analysis involves studying historical price data and chart patterns to identify potential trading opportunities. Fundamental analysis focuses on evaluating economic indicators such as GDP growth, inflation rates, and employment figures to assess a currency's intrinsic value. Sentiment analysis involves gauging market sentiment and investor psychology to anticipate market trends. Forex trading platforms provide traders with access to the market and tools for executing trades, conducting analysis, and managing risk. These platforms may offer various order types, including market orders, limit orders, stop orders, and trailing stops, to help traders execute their trading strategies effectively. Risk management is a crucial aspect of Forex trading, as the market's high volatility can lead to significant gains or losses. Traders use risk management techniques such as setting stop loss and take profit orders, position sizing, diversification, and maintaining a disciplined trading approach to manage risk and preserve capital. Overall, the Forex market is a dynamic and complex marketplace where participants from around the world engage in currency trading for a variety of purposes. Its size, liquidity, and accessibility make it an attractive venue for traders seeking opportunities in the global financial markets.
Okay. So from that, what I want y'all to understand is that the Forex market is probably the largest financial market, right? When we're talking about money moving daily. Nothing moves money, right? Or as much money as the foreign exchange market. This is how countries, this is how banks, this is how your biggest businesses and just all of the largest of everything got to do anything with financials. This is what controls it. So actually, when you are in this market, you are a part of, right, what is controlling the economies of every country, every all of the places on the earth, because you can take you can buy stocks. Stocks is a part of the foreign exchange, because when you get into dealing with the S&P 500 and all of these different EFTs and major blue chip stocks, right? These are what are affected the most by the foreign exchange. Each market affects the other markets, is basically what they're saying. The stock market affects the gold price. The stock market affects oil price, right? And that's vice versa, where gold price affects the stock market and gold price affects crypto prices, and just each of the different aspects and assets in the market control different parts of it. So we're gonna move on to the next part in this training, and I'm gonna be quiet and let the video play.
Importance of gold in the global economy. Gold holds a multifaceted role in the global economy, underpinned by its unique properties and historical significance. Here are several key aspects that highlight the importance of gold. Store of value. Gold has been a store of value for thousands of years. Its durability, scarcity, and the fact that it does not corrode make it a lasting form of wealth. Unlike fiat currencies, gold maintains its purchasing power over long periods, making it a hedge against inflation and currency devaluation. Investment asset.
I'll pause right there. That's probably the number one reason that I specifically trade gold, because gold is the one thing that uh, it will never lose its value. It will never lose value. It's an asset that we don't have to worry about crashing and going to zero value, right? Gold is what sets the standard for value.
Investors often turn to gold as a safe haven asset in times of financial uncertainty and market volatility. It is seen as a way to diversify investment portfolios as its value often moves inversely to stock markets and currencies, particularly the US dollar.
That's important. It basically is an explanation that uh, generally, if the price of gold is going up, then the value of the dollar is going down. If the price of gold is going up, then the value of stocks will go down because gold is gaining more value, and that's saying that investors are putting their money in gold because they trust that the value of gold ain't gonna plummet to nothing like these stocks can do, like this crypto can do, right? So gold is always gonna have value.
Central banks' reserves. Central banks hold significant amounts of gold as part of their foreign exchange reserves. This practice stems from gold's historical role as a foundation for monetary systems. Today, it serves as a form of financial insurance and a means to promote confidence in a country's currency.
Once again, that's very important. It's telling you that central banks, right, hold significant amounts, right? So as the fiats, and fiat means like the dollar, the British pound, the yen, or the money that you actually spend in these countries, that's referred to as fiat in the foreign exchange or in the markets, right? So what banks do is, like a lot of the banks in the US are doing right now over the past maybe a couple of years, right? When you go deposit your money into the bank, what they do is they go and they spend that money and they buy physical gold, right? Because the price of gold is going up. So now that money that you put in the bank, they're either going to invest that money into these blue chip stocks, right? They're starting to invest in some blue chip cryptos, right? Or they're going to buy gold, oil, or any of these commodities. So that's why being in these markets is, you know, a powerful place to be, because you're able to make money off of just being informed of what the banks, and what these large companies are doing. If you're in tune with what the banks and what these large companies, right, which are the stocks, are doing, right, and then currencies, if you follow the trends of the currencies, then gold is somewhere that you can find very, very fast, easy movements to make money in gold, and that's what we're gonna go over. Just a precursor to the next section about jewelry. Jewelry is going to get more and more and more expensive, or it's going to start being of less and less and less good quality. You're starting to see a lot of these people that's into wearing a lot of jewelry wearing, it's costume jewelry, and that's because the price of gold and these minerals is going up because the value of the dollars is going down, right? So as the value of the dollar goes down, it takes more of those dollars to buy gold, right? Because the value of gold is going up. Saying gold was $1,600 an ounce, now it's $3,500 an ounce. So the price of gold and doubled. So it takes twice the amount of your dollars that you had to get the same amount of gold now, just over a short 2-year period.
Jewelry and industrial demand. A substantial portion of gold demand comes from the jewelry industry, which values gold for its aesthetic qualities and workability. Additionally, gold's conductive properties make it a critical component in various industrial applications, including electronics and medical devices, adding to its demand. Global trade. Gold is a universally accepted form of payment, transcending national borders and serving as a crucial instrument in international trade. Its liquidity and universal value make it an effective medium of exchange for global transactions.
Now, Florida has just joined a couple other states that have made gold a legal form of currency, meaning you can spend gold in Florida now, right? So I'm waiting to see if they come out with their gold back, which is a literal gold dollar, right? A 10 gold dollar. It's based on weight, right? And I've been buying them for about 3 years. I've been trying to get people on this trend and educate people on the need to be buying physical gold because it's only going to go up, right? When I was telling people 2 or 3 years ago that gold was going to be $3,000, they thought I was crazy, but gold is $3,000 now, and it's going to continue to go up as these countries battle over economic uh, uh, control. Um,
Economic indicator. The price of gold can act as an indicator of economic health. Rising gold prices often reflect economic uncertainty or inflationary pressures, while stable or declining prices may indicate economic confidence and stability. Influence on monetary policy. The gold standard, which pegged the value of currency directly to a specified amount of gold, has been abandoned by most countries. However, the amount of gold held by a nation can still influence its monetary policy and its currency strength on the global stage.
Now, that's a very, very tricky topic right there because in order to understand that, you got to dig deep. And I did a presentation a couple years ago on this guy. I can't remember his name, but they call him uh, the father of God. What is it? Uh, Economics, whatever it is. I can't remember it. I just had a brain fart. But this guy basically wrote some papers, and this is what they decided to use and follow his directives in taking gold off of the gold standard, where they were pegging it to the U.S. dollar. What that did was that kind of froze uh, the value of gold because now what you got is if gold is pegged to the U.S. dollar, then the U.S. controls the value and the price of gold, which will in turn control the value of other countries' fiat, and other countries couldn't have a chance in fighting for dominance when it comes down to fiat. Now what happened is you have what we're seeing go on right now with the trade wars, where these countries are now fighting over trade, right? And it's based on the dollars, right? All of these countries' fiats are suffering and starting to go down in value, and we know that because gold is skyrocketing, right? Gold is shooting up. The dollar's going down, the yen's going down, the euro's going down, the pound, everything is losing value, but gold is steadily gaining value. Um, this is what they're fighting against when we're talking about these trade wars, because the only way that they can control that is by what each country is importing and exporting from other countries, right? So that's why you're seeing all this beef going on. And I mean, we live in the United States, right? So we should be on the side of the people that's fighting for the United States. In my opinion, I'm gonna leave that alone. We're gonna get into politics. We're gonna finish this up with the last section on this, and I believe it's gonna continue on for a couple minutes. I'm gonna let it play out.
Cultural significance. Gold holds profound cultural significance in many societies, symbolizing wealth, purity, and achievement. This cultural value underpins its demand for jewelry and as a gift, further entrenching its role in the global economy. Gold holds significant importance in the global market for several reasons. Firstly, it has a rich historical significance, having been valued by civilizations for its rarity, beauty, and utility for thousands of years. This historical importance has ingrained gold as a symbol of wealth and stability, contributing to its enduring allure in the modern economy. Secondly, gold is often considered a safe haven asset, meaning it tends to retain its value or even appreciate during times of economic uncertainty, geopolitical instability, or market turmoil. Investors often turn to gold as a hedge against inflation, currency devaluation, and other risks, making it a preferred asset for diversifying investment portfolios and preserving wealth in turbulent times. Moreover, gold serves as a reliable store of value over the long term, unlike fiat currencies that can be subject to inflation and depreciation. Its stability provides investors with confidence amid currency fluctuations and financial instability, further enhancing its appeal as a wealth preserving asset. Central banks around the world also hold significant quantities of gold as part of their official reserves. These reserves provide central banks with confidence during economic stress, enhance their credibility, and serve as insurance against currency crises and external shocks. Central banks' accumulation or sale of gold reserves can impact gold prices and market sentiment significantly. In addition to its financial role, gold has practical applications in various industries such as electronics, dentistry, and aerospace due to its unique properties. It is also highly prized for jewelry and decorative purposes in many cultures worldwide, contributing to industrial and jewelry demand, which in turn affects its market dynamics and price fluctuations. Lastly, the gold market is highly liquid, with significant trading volumes and active participation from various market participants globally. This liquidity facilitates efficient trading, price discovery, and opportunities for investors, traders, central banks, mining companies, and jewelry manufacturers to buy, sell, and hedge gold exposure effectively. In summary, gold plays a multifaceted role in the global market as a symbol of wealth, a safe haven asset, a store of value, a central bank reserve asset, an industrial material, and a component of jewelry. Its historical significance, stability, practical applications, and market liquidity contribute to its importance in the global economy and financial system.
Okay, that was a good breakdown of the importance of gold in the global economy, and it kind of explains a little bit further why I choose gold as what if I'm going to trade, this is what I'm going to trade because uh, I'm not going to say it so it's more predictable, but you can understand the trends a little bit better because so many of the other assets, right? They just trade opposite of gold. If they're in the red and they're going down, you can almost bet gold is going up. And if they're going up, you can almost bet that gold is going down. That's why this is such an important part of learning to trade, uh, and understanding that it's not as important to focus on the real technical aspects of it. You just, this is the common sense stuff. If the dollar is crashing, then gold's gonna go up. If the dollar is booming, gold's gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? Um, if the dollar is booming, more than likely the euro is going down. It's just common sense things that we can add to our arsenal, and they will be a lot more effective than trying to remember and learn all of the minute technical aspects and issues. Because I'm a profitable trader, and it's things that you're gonna hear me explain in my way of explaining them, and I don't get into the technicals and trying to remember, all the definitions and all that because I think that's where they lose a lot of people. So that's kind of what we're doing here with these on the weekends, getting a lot of this basic understanding and letting people understand that if you just keep it real simple and real basic, right, and just stick to it, you'll be all right in the market. We're gonna move on to the next section.
Understanding XAU/USD as a currency pair. The XAU/USD currency pair
Let me just pause right here for a second. I'm gonna go back. I started over, but I want to explain what this is. This is the training program that I created, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm offering it for free but it's kind of on my free time. On Sundays, I'm gonna spend an hour, hour and a half going over this. But if you want to get to do it yourself, uh, uh, product that I offer, you can get it and do it on your own time. You don't have to be locked into being here at this date on this time. You can do it on your own time. Then I also offer a full membership mentorship package that comes with this training, a whole bunch of other different stuff. I share the website link in the comments before we get done with this video. But you can take advantage of this stuff, man, and get this thing going on a faster track than just coming on Sundays. But I did create this complete training. Then I got the AI voiceover because it just sounded a little bit better. It's a little clearer. It pronounced the words better, and I got to worry about bumbling over words and stuff like that. So bear with it. I kind of like it.
Understanding XAU/USD as a currency pair. The XAU/USD currency pair represents the exchange rate between 1 troy ounce of gold, XAU, and the United States dollar, USD. It's a unique financial instrument in the Forex market because it pairs a precious metal, gold, with a fiat currency, the US dollar. This pairing is one of the most followed and analyzed in financial markets, providing a fascinating blend of commodity and currency trading dynamics. Here are key aspects to understand about the Australian dollar to US dollar currency pair. Symbolism and meaning. XAU is the international standard ISO 4217 currency code used to denote 1 troy ounce of gold. The choice of X reflects its status as a non-national entity, commodity. USD represents the United States dollar and is the world's primary reserve currency, used globally for international trade and financial transactions.
Okay, let's pause right there. Okay, so the XAU, what they mean right there is, okay, if you take the X off and you just use the AU is uh, the symbol for gold on the periodic table of elements. So they add the X to it to make it a commodity in the market, and then the X, right, reflects that it doesn't tie it to any country. It's its own. It's its own. It doesn't. You see it in the USD is based on the US dollar. So that's basically what the tickers are going to stand for. When you see these tickers on all the different assets, they all have a meaning. All right, we're going to go to the next video and the last video for today. A lot of these videos are going to be real short.
Understanding XAU/USD as a currency pair.
Can I play the same one?
The XAU/USD currency pair represents the...
That's it. I think I doubled up. Yeah, I doubled up on that. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for today. But what we'll do is we'll go now. Let me stop sharing that, and we're gonna spend a little bit of time because the market is open, and I always want to spend some time in the market with y'all because the live market, is the best way to learn. So I'm gonna go and we're gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna explain a few things and just go over what this is and how we use it. And I'm gonna go up to a very, very high time frame so y'all can see where I generally start at. And I can explain it. This is where I would start, right? And I did this before I got started on the live stream. I'm gonna turn those indicators off and I'm gonna just show y'all the basics of trading, right? We got candlesticks, right? We got trend line, right? And we got this box that I drew. I'm gonna explain what I did. Now, I used to, when I first started, I would have all kind of lines all over the chart and everything, right? but that's not. I kind of just keep it a little bit clearer. I'm gonna add one more line just to so I can make my point with what I'm showing. All right, these are called trend lines. This red line and this red line. They're both called trend lines. Let me maximize. All right, and then let me come over here and maximize and pull myself out of the way. I don't need y'all to see. I don't need to see me. Let's pay attention to this. But this is where we get into understanding how, when, and where to enter or exit the market, right? We got the basic thing, trend line, right? And then what I call this is my little equilibrium boxes, right? And this is a 1 day chart. So each one of these candles represent 1 day. So this shows y'all how the market has moved from December 30th of 2024 right here into up until today, right? And this marks the uptrend, meaning that the price of gold has been going straight up since December, right? It's went up. It's brought some little what we call these retests, or where it checks to make sure that price has support to continue going up. Come down, retest, make sure that price has support to continue up, right? And then this is what we call resistance, right? This is where the market finally meets a point where it's all right. I don't want to go up no more. And we know that because it comes down, right? It finds support, it goes back up, and it finds a lower price of resistance, right? So that's a low, I mean a higher high, then it goes to set a lower high, right? So that's letting us know that there's becoming a fight, right, for price to continue up. It drops down, it comes down, and it tests this trend, right? And you had some people there that was still right here waiting to catch this buy. And when it came back up, just as this trend line right here show, when it came back up and it met that resistance that was at that price on this trend, it got the resistance and price dropped. So now we're possibly looking at a reversal, right? And gold price. It could be temporary, it could be long term, but generally what we're looking at is we're looking at gold trying to go back down to around $3,000, possibly a little bit under $3,000. And I'm able to just determine that by these simple lines on the chart. Now, what does this box mean? This box means that this is the next place, right? As we see, when price went up, came down, and up, came down, it found strong support right here, right? So what we're gonna be looking for, we already see that it went up and it met resistance, came down and started to meet that resistance again. And I'm of the opinion that price is gonna come down a little bit and possibly test around here, but generally come back around this area. And on the higher time frame, it'll probably start to form what's called a head and shoulders. If we go into the let me stop that. And then, one day, I don't know how to do it from widescreen, but and this is the very basics to it. And then what we can do is we can add some indicators, right? And basically, what these indicators are everything that I just added is basically the same information presented in a different way. So all of the indicators that I just added to the screen, right? Which it ain't but two indicators, right? Ichimoku, cloud, and the Bollinger Bands, right? These are my go-to indicators when I want to use indicators to help me in the market. That's from a lot of long time research and just finding that, in my opinion, they are the closest to being accurate. No indicator is accurate because they only show moving averages, right? They only show you, right, certain things about the market. But what I tend to use them more for are, instead of drawing You see a lot of people that come in and see their charts will look like this, and mine used to, where they'll have a bunch of these support and resistance lines going all across the screen. And in my opinion, that's just a lot of confusion, and they call your chart up. So I pretty much don't do that no more. I've come to the understanding that these indicators act as measurements of support and resistance. So everywhere you see a line, no matter whether it's this blue squiggly line, this green squiggly line, this red, each one of those is going to be a support and resistance measurement for me and the strategy that I use. As y'all can see, is baseline measurement. That's a part of the Bollinger Band. You see how it acts as support. So you know that if it breaks this band, it's going to drop down until it comes to the next support. And when it reaches this support, what does it do? It goes back up. It, now this band becomes resistance, right? So everything is support and resistance, except for this lagging line that's a part of the cloud. And that's kind of advanced, and we'll get into that on some advanced trading. But what we want to basically deal with is understanding the trends, how to identify these trends, right? And then how to identify possible reversals in those trends, right? While at the same time identifying possible re-entries, right? Saying that okay, this might be a fake reversal. So we can see price to come, and then generally another thing with this Ichimoku cloud, which is this green thing that you see going up, right? Generally, what this indicator is, if it's green, you're going to want to wait for the position to fall through it, because generally, price falls through the green cloud and goes up through the red cloud. So you're gonna see some sections of that cloud be red, some sections be green. Sometimes you're gonna see these fake outs, right? That's why nothing is 100%, right? It's only an average. It's only a indicator that's not, you know, nothing is absolute in the market, because at any time something could happen in the news, something could happen, with the markets, and you get these instantaneous reversals in the market that break, the trend or the natural order of the market. But generally, we're gonna see the market stick to these trends where it's gonna go up through these red portions of the cloud, down through these green portions of the cloud, up through the red, you know, down through the green, and you're going as far back as you can go. That's some of the simple things that you can look for as aids, but you don't want to 100% depend on this stuff, because, like I said, it's just an indicator. If you depend on the indicators, you're gonna be lost in the markets, and sometimes you're gonna lose. And um, a lot of the times, also, what we can do is go down on the time frame. All right, and we can go down to a 1 minute chart. And this 1 minute chart is going to show the same thing, but it's going to show you. Now that other chart was 1 day candles. Now each one of these candles represents 1 minute, right? So if you want to do what's called scalping, and what scalping means is you want to get in and out of the market, in and out of the market, right? Then you want to be able to use these lower time frames, and it's basically the same thing. The market is going to fall through these green clouds, right, and go up through the red clouds, right? So I just want to spend a little bit of time in the live market, showing y'all some of the stuff, some of the tools that we're gonna get into teaching y'all and giving y'all a better understanding of. And I kind of wanted to end right here because it's right around the time for me to jump in the market and actually, uh, try to get my little couple dollars for the day. Sundays the markets do open up at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I'm going to 5 minute, and we can see that. But I'm gonna be looking for right now. 15, 15 minutes. It's a very, very, very tricky spot in the market because the price could do one of two things, one of three things, and that's at all times, right? Price could want to come down through this green cloud. Price could want to continue to build this green cloud up to look like this one until price comes up and meets this resistance, which is what I would probably bet on right now. I wouldn't chase this sell. I would wait for it to come down, find some support, right? So I mean, I would go down to a lower time frame, maybe a 5 minute chart, right? And I would wait for it to come down and possibly touch this cloud around 305 and then continue to go up to find resistance around $3,333, right? And we can see, like I shared in the presentation, we're going to go to 60 minutes, 1 hour, right? And we just want to show my chart and show y'all that, like I said, the price of gold has been steadily going up. It will come down from time to time, but it's going to keep moving up as long as we're going through the stuff that we're going through. If y'all stick with me, it's going to take some time to really teach y'all how to understand what we're looking at. It just looks like a bunch of squiggly lines and junk on the screen, but there's a lot of information right here. You take the time, right? Apply yourself, right? Focus and dedicate to actually wanting to learn this trade and this skill. This is something that can definitely change your life. Uh, Two things I implore you to, if you're interested in it and you want to start, actively being a part of these trainings when you come on with me on Sundays. I'm going to be here every Sunday starting at 7 p.m. You can download the Trading View app or software. You could start off with a free plan because we're gonna start off real basic, and I don't plan on getting you guys involved in or depending on using a bunch of indicators. The free plan you can get, I believe, up to two or three indicators, but you can draw and use as many of the tools as you want. It kind of limits you on as many screens as you can use. I generally have three screens in front of me that I use to trade because I like to trade while watching the market in three different time frames in no general order or shape. But um, I definitely recommend TradingView as what you use to analyze the markets because um, you get better as far as what I mean time frame. I mean, like, their prices are more accurate, than whatever app you may be using or software you may be using to trade. You can actually trade from TradingView through the different brokerages that they offer. I have a particular brokerage that I offer, and that the people with me and my programs use. I kind of got to hook up with a brokerage that makes everything a little bit easier. But we're gonna wrap it up. I probably leave. Uh, Let me think. I will post in the comments after I post this to all of the social medias where it's at in the comments. I will leave a link to my website. You can go through the website. I got a bunch of reading materials, ebooks that I wrote on this subject uh, based on the different aspects that I think are important when it comes down to trading. I also offer do-it-yourself 30 days to profitable trading uh, package that you can purchase. I also offer the package with complete membership and a whole lot of perks and different products that I throw in to make sure that if you join that program, I can almost guarantee that you'll be profitable within the first month, 30 days of trading. So that's gonna be it. We're gonna wrap it up. Y'all welcome to comment and let me know what y'all think about it. Like the channel, subscribe to the channels, like all the social media pages where you see this at, man, and follow me. I'm gonna continue to just share bits and pieces and bits and pieces and bits and pieces. And if you're really dedicated and want to dedicate Sundays to this because you might can't afford to just outright buy the package. That's what this for me to kind of have a way to give back. I'm not gonna hold nothing back. It's just it's time, so I'm gonna be doing this when I got time, and I pretty much could dedicate my Sunday evenings before I actually get into the market. Um, Once we get going and we build the memberships up in the mentorship, uh, I'm gonna start offering where people could just join. You can pick what part you want, what you need, what fits for you, and that's kind of how I got it set up because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to, I don't want to leave the people out that can't afford it, right? But some people are dedicated, and some people are like, okay, I'm locked in. I'm ready to invest in myself, and I'm ready to be profitable in 30 days in this market. If that is you, go to my website. Let me run it across the bottom. I think I have it. I can run it across the bottom. Yeah, I do. All right, it's right there. Go to my website, tradewarchest.com/30-day challenge. And right there, you can see all of the different products that I offer. Putting together a free ebook that I'm going to be offering. I'm going to kind of try to take some of those tips and some of that stuff out of each book and just put it in one ebook that I can offer out to y'all to kind of, if you're on the edge and you don't know whether there's something that you actually want to get into, I can, just make it a little bit easier and give you a little bit of information and help you out on making a decision. That's gonna wrap it up. We've been riding for about an hour. This DP, let me cut this off, come back on the screen. I'm Derek Pettis. I hope y'all enjoy this. I pray that uh, people take heed and understand the value of what I'm doing. Right. Some people may not see the value in it. No knock on them. No hard feelings at the same time. But I'm telling y'all that this is how the banks right keep their doors open. This is how the biggest industries in the world keep their doors open and keep their companies from plummeting. And it's because, like I mentioned in the presentation, this is the most liquid market in the world, the gold market. With that said, I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm Derek Pettis. This Kingpin Chronicles, sponsoring the Trade War Chest 30 Days to Profitable Trading Sunday webinars. Y'all make sure y'all go on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my merchandise at shop.kingpinchronicles.com. I got all kind of digital products as far as ebooks, everything from trading to tax information to if you want to start a tax business. I got a training in there for that. I got some merch, some nice T-shirts. I should have had some of the T-shirts out, but just check the website out. It's right down there. Shop.kingpinchronicles.com. Um, and we'll get your stuff to you when you order. As soon as you put the order in, it come right to me. They come pick it up. And you'll have your order within 7 to 10 days. Your order will be shipped from me within 2 or 3 days, and then the rest is through all of the different platforms that I use. But I'm out, man. Thank y'all for showing up. Thank you for viewing the video. Like, share, right, and make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss none of the content that I share or any of these trainings that I'm offering. And it don't cost you $1 to do none of that. I'm gone. DP, Kingpin Chronicles. Trade War Chest 30 Days to Profitable Trade Challenge. I'm out.